Stu, this is Sims. Welcome back to SNS Talk. Going to be giving our official Captain Marvel review today as promised. All right, so you start them off. Well, let me say this. We're going to do a no spoiler.
No spoiler.
At first.
But
then we're going to get to a point.
Very good.
We're going to get to a point where we're going to say, now we're going to talk about spoilers.
But that's not now.
And if you don't want to see it at that point,
Which is not now.
just don't watch it anymore.
But watch it now.
Watch it now.
And watch it
Let's see. Go ahead.
Last time I said it was top 5. I gave my, classic, I just saw the movie, it's the best movie I ever saw reaction. I said it was top 5. This movie's not top 5. This is not top 5 at all. The jokes, they were still funny. But they weren't like that fresh initial funny. But they were still. I still laugh when I watched it.
I've watched it again.
I've seen it twice. I watched it last night. I've seen it twice, so it's still funny. But the jokes just aren't as funny. But it's still a good movie.
My initial hype, honestly, just going back thinking about it. My initial hype, of course, I was like, oh yeah, that's top 5. That's top 5. But even that same night, I got home and I was like, I don't know. And it is not in my top 5 anymore. There's been 21 movies. And yeah, no, it's... I know where it might fit in mine. You might know where yours is too, but we'll give that in a minute.
Okay, so we're still not getting specifics yet, because this is still not spoilers, but what did you like about the movie?
I'm not like a critic, like, oh, CGI was the sound.
Unless we're talking about BS.
Unless it's just
apparently
garbage.
his mustache. I didn't notice it, but
no, that's Justice League.
my bad, Justice League.
But what I seen, visuals good, funny. Certain characters made me like it more than others. And I will give when we get to spoilers, I'll say some things that I've heard off some other reviews. Other reviews don't change my opinion. It just enlightens me on some other stuff that I didn't catch. But funny, a lot of people I liked. I liked a lot of characters. The story, I liked what happened. I don't want to give none of that away. But I like the plot. So, basic, I like the plot.
Man's acting like he didn't just look at my answers.
I was just seeing what you had.
I
don't need to answer your answers. I have my own thoughts.
Okay, so what did I like?
Okay.
The humor, like I was saying earlier. That's one of the big things for me. Because you take out the humor, I don't know how far this thing falls. I already have the number in my head, but it might fall way farther if it's not as funny. And then the plot. I didn't expect it, really. It kind of caught me off guard. I'll talk about it later. Okay, so would I watch it again? I would watch it again for sure.
Yeah.
But I've already seen it twice in 1 week, so I don't need to see it again. I'm good.
I can watch it again.
It wasn't that good of a movie. If this was like Infinity War, I could watch Infinity War probably 7 days a week. I've only seen it once, because I'm just waiting, but... Would I watch it again? Yes. I've just seen it too many times.
I could watch it once more.
Once.
Then I'd have to wait.
Okay.
I could watch it once more, 2 times overall, and then I'd be like, I don't want to watch it for a while.
And so we're not gonna give our list right here because that'd make the video too much.
We'll do a video one day of our.
This is just Captain Marvel
MCU.
But in terms of ranking the movie, we both said it was top 5 before.
Yeah.
For me, just so you know the area, there's 21 movies. It's ranked number 15 for me.
Out of my list, we have a pretty different list. Honestly, if you think about it, but it's and I'm not just doing this for you, but mine's 14. Compared because it's 15, 14, that's not much of a difference. Compared to the movies we have side by side at 15 and 14, I have Black Panther to me is 12. Black Panther's, that's down there with it's I think it's on my list, it's right under Black Panther. Or maybe Guardians.
It's pretty
Something
regardless.
Yeah,
it's low.
It's low.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not top. It's not top 5. It's not top 10 at all. It's 15 for me and 14 for you. That's the end of the non-spoilers.
Right. Yeah. So from this moment forward,
Spoiler.
spoilers.
Spoiler.
Okay. Put it up on the
Spoiler.
public service announcement.
Spoiler.
So,
Give me what was the specific part that you like? Give me your favorite part
Talos.
in general.
Yeah. And
My answer is the same.
he was the whole reason that if he wasn't in the movie, if it wasn't as funny because of him, it might be like 21.
Oh yeah. Him and Fury.
Young and Fury.
They're the two that's all the comedy right there.
Real quick, just like going through other things I like. I like how they were playing it up like, oh, that car crash was how Fury lost his eye. And he was like, oh. And he's like, can you see? He's like, oh, no, yeah, I'm good. Then later on, something else happened. I forgot.
The cat.
Yeah, but the cat did it in the end.
Oh, you're saying so. Oh, okay.
Like, there was a lead up. Like,
okay.
the car crash
There's another
happened,
one.
and his eye got scratched. He was like, oh, are you? And everybody in the theater was like, that's how he lost his eye. And he's like, oh, no, I'm good. And then later on, I think something else happened. And he was like, oh, my eye. And everybody's like, that's how he lost his eye. And he's like, oh, no, I'm good. But then in the end, it was the...
Flurkin.
It was Goose, the Flurkin cat, who just scratched his eye. And that's how he lost his eye. He didn't lose his eye, but y'all seen it, how it's like all jacked up.
Yeah. A funny part with like the cat scratching specifically was like at the end when Coulson asked him like, is it true that what do you say? He said like, is it true that you lost your eye because you wouldn't give up the information to the Kree or something? And he's like, I will neither confirm nor deny the facts of that story. And I was like, for it was the cat. What were some specific parts that you didn't like?
One thing that I didn't care about at all, because I didn't know, because I haven't seen the comics, but a lot of people were saying the Supreme Leader, who was also portrayed as the Supreme Leader, is it makes you see like the person you most admire, the whole plot. We'll get to that in a minute. But it was the woman, it was the girl, her pilot,
yeah,
her captain or whatever.
Yeah.
Marvel.
Yeah.
In the comics, it's a man. Marvel is a man. So a lot of people didn't like that. Not because of the whole woman and man, just because she kind of didn't fit.
Really?
So people say, like I said, this don't care to me. I don't care. But
I loved her as
I liked her.
that part where
especially her playing Supreme Leader, the captain, and also a Kree. Like she played like 3 different people.
Yeah.
So that was really good. Like
okay.
I forget her name. No, I liked her.
Yeah.
Like another thing I didn't like was I didn't like I know it wasn't a whole. Why do the Krees hate the Skrulls? It was just the Krees want to take over the outside places that the Skrulls inhabit. The Skrulls inhabited these outside places of the Krees' home, and they just wanted them gone. But there was nothing else other than that. Like the whole movie was like, Captain Marvel, she's a Kree. Oh no, she's got to help the Skrulls. Like, why do they hate each other? Why is there a beef other than the fact that they just want them gone? And that was another thing for me.
So, let's see. The part I didn't like specifically, it's one of our gripes all the time. It kind of, I don't know if it got you, but it got me. It was like probably 2/3 into the movie maybe, and Talos is trying to convince, what's her name? I forgot her name.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. I was trying to say her actual name.
It's like
Veers. He was trying to Carol Danvers.
Carol Danvers.
Trying to convince her to help them and that they're on the same side. We went through the same thing. The Kree both took something from us. And he's like, we're the same. And she's like, she says, it got on my nerves. She said, "I don't even know who I am." But the way she said it, she got all emotional. Now, I don't care if you get emotional. You can get emotional. Emotion's fine. I don't care. But like, she got like emotional for like no reason. I don't even know who I am. I was like, calm down. Like, it's not that big a deal. Like, just like obviously you're gonna. I don't know. Like, she got emotional for no reason.
Right. So the plot. Let me say the real quick. I just didn't like how far back the Skrulls and the Krees had been beefing. They didn't explain that well, but that's fine because I like the plot in general. How the Kree were actually bad, the Skrulls were actually good. They switched it, and Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, didn't know who she was, but the Skrulls eventually, after she was working with the Kree and the Star Force, they change her mind, and she realizes that she just needs to help these Skrulls. She needs to help these people. And the Kree are actually the bad guys. So, I like that. I really like the whole plot. It's so low for me because that could have been really good with like a little bit more emotion out of her. Like, Brie Larson was just kind of bland. And the fact that like, and it was kind of slow, you know? The whole part until she didn't know who she was. Until the part where she found out who she was kind of slow. They finally had a fight, you know, and she finally was fighting the right people. You know what I'm saying? That was... So the whole plot itself, I liked the change, the turn.
So, for me, whenever I was watching, and it said that, you know, she's Kree, and you know, she's with the Kree, I was like... Because, you know, I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. And so, I'm like, the Kree were evil. Like, what? I was like, okay. Because I don't know everything. I know, like, if everything is 100%, I know, like, 0.00025 of stuff about superheroes. So, I don't know everything at all. So, I was like, maybe the Kree were good at one point. And maybe they're good here. I don't know. So, I just, like, put aside my knowledge the small bit of knowledge that I already had. And I just went into like, okay, Kree's good, she's with the good people. But then once I put that aside and then the switch happened, it really took me by surprise. Because I was thinking like, okay, they're good. But then like, I didn't expect that to happen like at all. Because I put aside what I already had. I would say it was not slow. It just wasn't like, it was just like more like giving you like the lead up. You know, the whole movie can't be like bang, 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 bang. Yeah. You know, because that first part up until she finds out who she is, that's good parts. That's where like, that's the part where the Talos mimics Fury's boss, and you know they're in the elevator, and he's like, good work, Nicholas. And then Fury's like, he's like, nobody calls me Nicholas. This is one of those people.
I think another thing was, and I know there's a difference between Solo and these big Avengers movies, but I think kind of the same thing happened with Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think that Infinity War was so good, and everybody's so ready for Endgame, that these ones in the middle are often like, in its defense, people are like, oh, that wasn't as good, you know. Give me Endgame. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta... in its defense a little bit. But one thing I wanted to mention before we got off the plot, the end credit scene. I really liked the end credit scene. Because the end credit scene, they're all sitting there trying to work out the pager. Trying to figure out, you know, the pager that he called Marvel on, Fury called Marvel on before. Yeah. So he caught there. It's like Captain America's there. Tony, Bruce. I don't know if Tony was there.
Tony. It was only 4 people. Cap, Rhodey,
Black Widow,
and Bruce.
Okay. So they're trying to figure out what this pager was, who it called. Something I really like is at the end of it, they turn around and Captain Marvel's standing there. She's like, "Where's Fury?" And then it ends. I like how she just entered herself in So we don't have to spend the majority of Endgame getting her to like introduce herself to them. You know, if the whole first hour of Endgame is who is Captain Marvel? Is she a bad guy or a good guy? You know, everybody's gonna be like, get to Thanos, please.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's gonna be, but I like how they went on ahead and put her in it. So this part that we're not seeing, this time that's overlapping, they'll get to know her. So we can get right into Endgame and get right into her helping them.
So for characters we didn't like, we already know who he didn't like. For me, I didn't really not like anybody, but I would just say I'd want to see more of the villains and like their story, like not like they're bad, like that would have been fine too, but just like what they're doing when they're like while they were trying to get here, you know, like so, some more like you could have gave them more depth to like themselves as characters.
That's kind of what I was meaning.
And then how did you like the music?
The music was good. I did like the music.
There were two songs, you know, I hadn't heard before, so I had to Shazam them the second time I watched the movie. It was what is it? Just a Girl by No Doubt, and then I don't know if this is a typo or not. Good Come As You Are, I don't think that's a typo, by Nirvana. Either way, both of those were good songs. And then how do you like the villain in general? What's your
So the Kree as a whole, or old buddy like her?
Either you can talk about both.
Kree as a whole, I mean, Kree's good. They have the in depth, like, you know, they have established themselves as good villains. Like they're a big threat all the time. But what's dude's name?
The dude.
Jude Law. Yeah, his character, I did like him. I liked him. He was he's kind of like. Before I knew he was bad, I was kind of like there's something up with him, you know. Like he might be bad. Like I could kind of tell, just because of his acting, which I liked. So I liked him. He could give Barista tips.
I like the Kree. They were cool, but specifically him, because we didn't see a lot of the other ones. Like they didn't have nothing to him, but for specifically him, I had like a low key vibe from him, because like he felt weaselly and like sneaky some. Especially like at the end when like he was defeated, he knew he was done for. So he was like pulling for straws now. He was like, turn off the light show. He was like, turn off the powers, just you and me, see if you can defeat me. She's just like, bam, no, I'm not doing that. That felt so like, I'm gonna try to weasel my way out of this some more. But it didn't work. And then lastly, did the movie go how you expected it to?
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things.
I knew it was a prequel. I figured there'd be some story. She'd come out in the end, but then they would lead it up to Endgame.
For me, it went how all I knew, like without knowing anything, I knew that the movie was going to be set in the past. This isn't what I saw. I just knew this was going to be. I knew the movie was going to be in the past, and I knew it would end with her getting the pager. Because you know they can't like not show us how the pager gets to her.
Yeah, the pager was.
So I knew that was going to be the end. That was going to be like in credit or something.
She had tampered the pager so he could reach her across galaxies.
Yeah. So I didn't expect to see any bit of Endgame yet. We saw a little bit of Endgame at the end with the end credit scene. I didn't expect to see any of that.
I was expecting to see something in the end credit scene.
I thought the end credit might be. I thought she would get the pager, give him the pager in the movie, and then the end credit it would just be a replay of what happened, and it'd be us showing Nick hit the pager.
So that's Captain Marvel. If you have stayed to the spoiler part and you haven't watched it yet, I don't know why you just did that. Unless you don't care. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for supporting our channel. SNS Talk will have more videos for you soon.